everybody, welcome back to Northernlion's Misadventures in the Arena of Hearthstone. I've bought entry into the arena again, probably to lose it in very quick succession here. One thing I did not mention, by the way, is the longer you last in the arena, the better your prize is intended to be. So I guess, you know, 2 wins was probably better than I got at the time I got 0 and 3'd, but at the very least, we're going to be looking to do a little bit better this time. I do have the option of playing as a mage again. It's my preferred class. I actually have spent literally 0 time as a druid or a warlock, so why don't we play as a druid just to kind of get into the experience that we're doing here. So, I think I'm going to take a look. A lot of these cards are like neutral between classes, but there's a lot of cards I haven't seen before, so it might take me a second here. I love the idea of the Emperor Cobra card. It's a little bit expensive relative to the damage and health that it has, but destroy any minion damaged by this minion is awesome, which means that like a high damage minion attacks this one, the Emperor Cobra will just destroy it, even if it dies in the process, I think. So I've got to look at my mana graph here to make sure this works out. Loot Hoarder seems like an interesting card, but I do love the Raid Leader card as well, especially if we can combine that with minions that have haste. 0 mana to deal 1 damage seems like an interesting card. I'll take that. We've got to start getting a few low mana cards here. I really like Fairy Dragon as well. Gain attack equal to the attack of your weapon. Interesting, but that probably won't do too much for us here. So I'll take Fairy Dragon. And we'll see if we can get some Druid-specific classes. Gain 2 mana crystals this turn only. That seems really useful as well. It's also another 0 mana card. We should probably start picking up some slightly higher cards here. So, Ogre Magi, +1 spell power. I like that. And now we have a choice between minions. So, give your characters +2 attack this turn. Seems oh, that's a spell, sorry. But 2 of these are spells, actually. They just look like wolves, so I got confused. Choose one. Give your minions +1/+1, or summon a 3/2 Panther. Enrage, Wind Fury, and +1 attack. Sure, let's get a Raging Vorgin, or Worgen. Healing Touch, restore 8 health. We need some more 5 mana cards, so as much as I would like that, it might not be the best idea. Okay, gain an... Yeah, I like gaining an empty mana crystal. If you could play that early, that seems awesome. Okay, so this is like our choice between amazing cards, I guess. It's going to be like the card our deck is built around. So we have Cenarius. Choose one, give your minions +2, or summon 2 2/2 treants with taunt, and it's 5/8. That's pretty good. Can't attack at the end of your turn, deal 8 damage to a random enemy. That seems excellent as well. And Illidan Storm Rage whenever you play a card, summon a 2/1 Flame of Azzinoth. I'm gonna go with Cenarius. He has taunt, or no, he summons units with taunt. Okay. Battlecry. He's a minion with 1 health, and a Battlecry remove 1 durability from your opponent's weapon. That seems like really not very good, but he's a 1 mana minion, so I'm gonna take him. I love the idea of having a bunch of Innervate cards, actually. But I'm not sure if this deck is being built properly. I'm going to take the minion with Wind Fury. That seems excellent. We'll take another... we should probably take a 6 mana card. We're not even halfway through the deck yet, so I'm going to start figuring this out a little faster. Battlecry, silence a minion. Seems amazing. This guy... Let's go with Oasis Snapjaw. He's really tanky, so I like having that. I think another Raid Leader is not necessarily a bad idea. I apologize if I'm drafting absolutely terribly. Again... I'm not 100% sure. I'll go with the Stormpike Commando, who has a Battlecry that does 2 damage right off the bat. I love the idea of gaining an empty mana crystal. I kind of love the idea of having another Raid Leader, actually. Deal 5 damage and draw a card, but that's pretty useful as well. Maybe we'll pick that up, and hopefully another Raid Leader will show up. Okay, so Violet Teacher. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a 1/1 Violet Apprentice. Seems interesting. Arcane Golem. Give your opponent a mana crystal. I don't like that, but it does have charge. And Mind Control Tech. If your opponent has 4 or more minions, take 1 at random. I'm going to go with the Violet Teacher here. I think that is a decent card if we plan on casting a lot of spells, which we do. So, it gains a little bit every time we do that. Or it summons a new minion every time we do that. I like the idea of having another cheap minion. Deal 3 damage randomly split between all other characters. Maybe I don't like that so much. But I do if I summon it early, so we'll take it. I could use some more 1 damage cards. I am going to summon another Raid Leader, or get another Raid Leader. Since we have a Violet Teacher, which gives us damage for spells. Actually, no, never mind. I'm going to take a Taunt here, which I think is really useful. We have a creature that can be enraged, restore 8 health, or gain an empty mana crystal. Okay, we'll go with gain an empty mana crystal. I don't know. I don't really like my graph at all here. Battlecry, give a minion +2 attack. That seems useful, or +4 health. I like Mark of Nature too, though, so maybe we'll go with that. So many 3-mana cards. Whenever one of your minions dies, draw another card. Swipe, deal 4 damage to an enemy and 1 damage to all other enemies. That seems really nice as well. Please let me get another Violet Teacher, because I am basing this deck pretty heavily around spells, which may or may not be a terrible idea. We should probably get some more minions, in all honesty. Now, another 6 minion might be a little nasty, but I like Soul of the Forest in this situation. And honestly, this deck seems okay. Whenever you cast a spell, gain +2 attack this turn. That seems useful as well. So that's going to be the end of our deck. I don't know if I royally fuck this up. We'll see. And hopefully we'll get matched here. And I could go 0-3 if I do. I apologize for it. Again, first time playing as a druid ever. I'm hoping that we, generally speaking with the arena, I'm happy if I can just get 1 win. And that is really depressing. I've been watching a lot of people on the Hearthstone subreddit. They're like, yeah, I get 9 wins all the time. Watching Total Biscuits videos, they'll go like 7-3 or something like that. But no, me personally, happy if I can just not get skunked the entire time. So we're going to play Times here. He's pretty excited about this whole Doomhammer situation. We get to go second. Oh, this is actually like a really excellent hand for us, I think. Because, we have that Moonfire card, which could be valuable, but I want to save it until we can actually use it to buff ourselves. Give your minions... Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to gain the Mana Crystal, which is, I'm using this right off the bat, which is maybe not the best idea. But then I'm going to deal 3 damage, randomly split between all other characters. So there's less of my minions, or there's none of my minions on here right now. And he did all the damage to the enemy. Next turn, he'll be able to attack for 3. That seemed to have worked out pretty well for me. I wanted to do it before I summoned any of my other minions, just in case he accidentally, destroyed a minion of mine, which would have been terrible and stupid. So he has summoned a random totem. This totem has restore 1 health to enemy... or to all units, which is really frustrating, and I hate it. Let me think about how I want to deal with this. So we do have Wild Growth, which gives us an empty Mana Crystal, or Battle Cry, remove 1 durability from your opponent's weapon. I don't think that's really that useful right now. I kind of want to play Wild Growth here and allow us on the next turn to use a 4-mana card like Soul of the Forest, although... Oh, it's not a Battle Cry. Okay, good. And then I'm going to destroy this totem, just to basically nullify the mana use that he had last turn and keep him from actually healing. We can also summon Raid Leader on the next turn, which would allow us to do a lot more damage. So I have no idea how this deck's going to turn out. I'm really hoping to get one of those creatures that gets buffed by spells out there as soon as possible. Oh, transforms a minion into a 0/1 frog with Taunt. Sure, that's fine. I mean, he doesn't have... Oh, we have Cenarius already. Not that I can do anything with it. We have 4 mana here. So, Raid Leader is an interesting choice. It does actually allow me to, use this frog to attack. And then we could also summon Bloodsail Corsair. Removes 1 durability from my opponent's weapon, which I think is, actually totally useless. This is a spell card. Gives your minions a Death Rattle to summon a 2/2 Treant. I'm assuming he's going to kill the frog on the next turn because it has Taunt. But I don't want to use that card just yet. So why don't we do this? This will give our frog the ability to attack, which is kind of surprising, I guess. And why don't we summon 1 more minion, which will have the ability to attack on the next turn, and we'll continue on here. So we went first, right? Yeah, we went first, I believe. So I do want to keep the initiative here. No, so his buff has now been silenced, which is frustrating. He is summoning a random totem, and this is another totem that heals him at the end of every turn. Again, pretty goddamn frustrating. So we have Spell Power +1, which is interesting. Trying to think of how I want to deal with this. So we have 5 mana, so I can basically use a 4 and a 0, or I could use like a 3 on my hero power, but we can't really use our hero power yet. Kind of like using Moonfire to destroy the beast here. And then I think it's in my best interest to kill the totem again, which is really frustrating, but at the very least we'll still be able to fit 1 damage here. And we still haven't cast anything else yet. So, give all your minions a Death Rattle seems like a really useful card in this situation. Obviously, kind of the longer we can let it go, the better it is. So maybe we'll wait to cast it until the next turn, and we'll summon Ogre Magi on this turn instead. And I don't know what Spell Power +1 would be for that. Maybe it gives all units 2 minions, or 2 Treants with 2/2 Taunt. I don't know. This seems like a really useful card to have in this situation, though. Hopefully none of my minions get destroyed here. Although I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if our frog gets killed, but, that doesn't really bother me. Wow, okay, so we're still doing pretty well here, I would say. So I'm going to cast Soul of the Forest. And this will give all of these minions a death rattle, which is excellent. I can also then use my hero power, like so. And as a result of that, I'm just trying to think of what he can attack. He can attack this with no risk. He can attack Raid Leader with like very little risk. He's silenced, actually, so that wouldn't even give him the death rattle. Yeah, could be interesting. I still have these heroes like ready to attack, don't I? So I could actually just wipe out this guy, which I think is a good idea. And the Ogre Magi will live. And then we'll do an attack with him, we'll do an attack with him, and we'll do an attack with our actual hero in the situation. Alright, so, you know, he has a turn to respond to that because we go first, but I am feeling alright about the situation so far. Whenever you play a card with Overload, gain +1/+1. Oh, deals 2 to 3 damage to all enemy minions. So they're all gonna die. But, also, then we're gonna get 3 Treants, I think. Yeah, so 3 Treants with Taunt, no less. 4 Treants. I guess Silence doesn't change that. Interesting. So we now have Mark of Nature. Choose one. Give a minion +4 attack or +4 health and Taunt. They already all have Taunt. I'm trying to think of how I might want to deal with the situation. I don't mind losing Treants. This is obvious. It's actually not that strong. What to do? I should say greetings, like hello, but next turn we can play Cenarius, so if minions actually live, then they'll all get +2/+2, which is amazing. Give a minion +4 attack or +4 health and Taunt. Okay, let me think about this. Okay, I kind of like... but we can't do anything else this turn. I kind of like the idea of destroying... like using Mark of Nature to give one of these Treants +4 attack. And then... oh, goddamn. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. We're going to go with +4 attack. This one. He is then going to attack him and kill him. And then we're going to use our hero power. And we should be able to do a nice amount of damage there and then end our turn. Okay. So I'm sorry I couldn't walk you through that. I took like way more than the time that I should have in order to make that happen. But basically, played a spell, sacrificed a Treant in order to kill a much more valuable unit. And on the next turn, it's possible... well, we'll see what this totem is first. He only has 3 mana left? How did that happen? That restores 1 health to all friendly units. Enrage is Wind Fury and +1 attack. But we can give all other minions +1/+1 on this one. Deal 5 damage and draw a card is a really useful card as well. Let's play Cenarius. Give all other minions +2/+2, I think is the right idea here. And then we will be able to do 12 damage on this turn. Like so. And I'm feeling relatively confident about the situation now. We only need to do 5 damage on the next turn, and we can just do that with our Starfire card. We can also deal 2 damage instantly with the Stormpike Commando. So I think he basically has to kill me on this turn. That's going to ruin the debuff, right? Or the buff that I had on these guys. No, it's not. Okay, well, it's probably a good use of the Frog card, but to a certain extent, the damage has already been done. He is going to be able to do some damage to me. Depends who he chooses to attack, I guess. These guys are still going to be +2/+2. I guess that's a permanent effect. Oh, wow. He sacrificed his creature to kill one of the Treants. I mean, he's got to do something, right? Like, there's nothing really else. Does this have... no, nobody has taunt here, so this is the end of the game, I guess. He's conceded. And I will say thank you for that, if it gives me the opportunity to do so. You know, well played from him, but also, you know, first game as a Druid, I would definitely say... I mean, I played... oh, actually, no, I've never played as a Druid even in practice mode, so I like him so far. We did earn 40 in-game gold. That's like roughly a quarter of an arena entry. We also got some new cards that we can use to build a deck in the other modes, but in arena mode, that's not going to be that applicable. Let's play again and see if it works. Again, each one of these episodes, I'm cool with getting 2 or 3 rounds in just to see how things go. I want to make sure that it's not going to be like I play 1 round and then, oh, like, or I want to make sure that I never plan for a video or let it happen where there's a video where it's just like, I lost, that's the end of my arena, GG, we'll stop. It might happen eventually, like, it's kind of out of my control. But again, we won one, so I'm happy. I didn't get skunked. If I could win another one right now, it would match the best that I've ever done. And I'm hoping that the queue here doesn't take too much longer because, you know, there's a lot of people playing the beta. I don't want to have too much dead air here. I should talk a little bit about my impressions of Hearthstone. Games, like, really, really goddamn good. I always worry when I go up against... I like these cards. And I go second, which is good. And I've got a 0 card. Ooh. Ooh, this is interesting. What was I going to say? I'm always worried when I go up to someone who has a name that's like a really fantasy-styled name, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to get my ass kicked. This guy's probably studied the arcane arts of Hearthstone, which, by the way, as I was saying before, it's amazing. It's the best, most addictive at least, and easily accessed. Or, well, not easily accessed because beta codes are rare, but very much accessible collectible card game that I think I have ever played on the PC at least. Opponent is still choosing which cards he's going to go with here. Hopefully, this is not some kind of bug. If so, that'd be really disappointing. Can I click on these things yet? Not really. No, can't even make a splash in the water. I'm hoping this isn't his first game, just in case he takes forever. But, you know, he is taking his sweet time, which scares me because maybe he's planning something. So I go second. It's his turn right now. How do I play this? I'm going to get the coin card, which will allow me to do something on my first turn. But I also have... Oh, okay, this is weird. I like it, though.
Pleasure is mine.
Whoa, I don't know how I feel about that. So if I gain 2 mana crystals this turn only, that'll take me to 3 mana for this turn. And then I'm going to play the coin, and that's going to take me to 4 mana. And then just to subsidize this, I'm going to play my 2 wild growth cards. I still have one in my inventory. And this will allow me on my next turn to be at 4 mana already, which is stupid and awesome, and I love it. So we're going to be able to get our good creatures out right away. That's the most I've ever done, I feel, on a first turn. But it could be cool. So he's going to probably attack me right off the bat here. 1 damage doesn't scare me all that much. We'll see what we are able to get from our next card. It's a 5 card, so I can't really use it. I could play another wild growth card, and then I'll have 6 on the next turn, but I don't think that's the right play. I think it's in our best interest to summon, you know, a Wind Fury creature. That'll probably soak up a lot of his aggro, and we'll end our turn. Next turn we'll have 5. I could do my Battle Cry... I was going to say Creep, but he's a minion here. I wonder if that's the sniper model from Dota, because obviously, you know, Dota originally based on Warcraft 3, or it was a mod for Warcraft 3. He has used his mana to equip a dagger that does a little bit more damage. Is he really going to attack my Wind Fury creature? Okay, well, I'll still be able to attack twice on the next turn, which I like, and his weapon broke. So, whenever you cast a spell, summon a 1/1 Violet Apprentice. This is a spell. So, I'm thinking we'll wait until the next turn to use that, and then we'll cast them all in quick succession. And we'll use our Wind Fury creature to do a ton of damage here. And we did go second, so considering we're going second and I have way more mana than him, I'm really liking the way that this is shaking out so far. But obviously, I want to get some high-level minions out on the field as soon as possible. It was just a really good draw for me, I feel, at the start of the game. But again, I feel like I need to add I feel at the end of every single one of these analyses that I'm making, because I don't really know. I'm not a high-level Hearthstone player. I'm just, you know, playing, basically. He has destroyed my Wind Fury creature, which is not unexpected. To be quite honest with you, I am amazed that I was even able to use it twice, and use it once to attack in the first place. Now, let's see how this works out for us. So I'm going to use, you know, summoning the taunt creature might not be a bad idea, but I'm going to summon Violet Teacher, and then by summoning, or using Wild Growth, that'll not only give me 1 more mana, but it'll also allow for a 1/1 Violet Apprentice to get onto the field. And then I will do 4 more damage this way, and we will end our turn. And our mana advantage at this point is pretty staggering, but we still need to get the cards in order to make this worthwhile. I really like the position that we're in right now, not because I think that we're trouncing our enemy by any stretch of the imagination. He can still, you know, probably easily come back. He's got a lot of cards in his hand. But I like it because, you know, we went second, and we're dictating the flow of play right now. Like, he really has to respond to what I'm doing, and that is always the position you want to be in. So I will probably use my... Ooh, Frost Elemental in this situation. It freezes a character when it starts. So what we could actually do here... I did want to summon the taunt creature for sure. But what I was thinking is I would use like my Stormpike Commander to actually kill this guy. But if I actually summon the... Oh, sorry. If I summon the Frost Elemental first and then freeze his minion, he won't be able to attack with it next turn. And I can get 1 more attack out of Stormpike Commando before sacrificing it to kill him. And I am going to give myself 1 attack plus 1 armor, and we got to make sure that we attack on this turn. He shouldn't be able to unfreeze. So, he's actually in a pretty dangerous spot already. We're going to end our turn with all of our crystals having been used. We could, you know, I have a few high damage cards that I could potentially use to basically just destroy him. He can't really do anything else. He's already used all of his mana. None of his creatures have taunt, so I think we actually just won the game right now. 4, 3, 1, 5. Yeah, all right. Well, much to my surprise, we have actually finished off that game in a matter of minutes. So that is 2 victories for us. Really liking this Druid deck so far. I think I got a staggeringly good early game draw. We've leveled up again. I don't think there's any other quests that I'm working towards, but the game might quickly prove me wrong. And, you know, we might as well fit in one more game over the course of this video, because it's kind of going surprisingly well so far. Shows the power of using those, going second in particular, but then being able to use those wild growth cards so that you can get good mana infrastructure from the get-go. He never really had a chance in that fight, which is not to say that I'm a better player, but I just got very, very lucky with that early game draw. And it could have gone totally different if I hadn't won the coin toss. It would have been slower for me to roll out those creatures as well, but hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I've been trounced. I lost my first arena match 30-0, I think. So I'm against Binks now, and it's a Druid on Druid match. Mirror match, if you will. We go first. I don't like that. I'm going to tell my Frost Elemental to F off, and we'll replace that with hopefully a 0 or 1 magic card. That's another 2 magic card, or 2 mana card. So we won't be able to do anything on our first turn, and he might have Wild Growth, which may allow him to do something on his first turn. That's okay, though. Now it's the real question, do I want to play Wild Growth straight away? Because obviously the earlier you play it, the better your advantages are. He couldn't do anything either, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to take that as a blessing in disguise, and I'll play our Wild Growth card right off the bat, so I'll be able to get 4 mana next turn and get some of these good creatures out, which will hopefully allow me to get some good stuff done. I don't necessarily want to send out the Ironbeak Owl yet. I think this scales better if I'm able to put it out, you know, when there's other creatures on the board that are potentially more annoying. But I'm not sure. I guess there is I do have some things that I can spend my mana on. Alright, so we're going to use a Fairy Dragon again. And I was going to give myself 1 armor and +1 attack, but I'm actually just going to play Wild Growth instead. We have a lot of high mana, high mana combos, I guess, for this point in the game that we can send out. So with me going first, I am 2 mana ahead at this point. And he's going to gain 1 mana this turn. That's going to give him 4. He could be able to summon a decent creature with that. Gains +1/+1 for each card in his hand. Jesus Christ, that's scary. But this is why it was smart for us to keep this Ironbeak Owl, because now I put this guy out here, silence this minion, and then all of his all the text on the card is no longer relevant. With another 4 mana, I think it's in our best interest to summon this guy, give our Fairy Dragon +2 attack, and then do some serious damage to this guy right here. We could still lose this Fairy Dragon pretty quickly, but I wanted to make sure that I did some damage with it as soon as possible. So again, I'm not necessarily super pleased with how this is going so far, but it's still really early. I think I've got a nice infrastructure. I'm going first, so I really want to dictate the play. Deal 4 damage to him and 1 damage to all other enemies. Ooh, that is a frustrating card. He can't target me with spells, so he's going to have to sacrifice his minion to make that happen. Now he's out of mana, and we're back at the same spot, which I'm totally okay with. So we have 7 mana, which means that I could summon a 4 and a 3, which I think is in our best interest here. And I'm still not really doing any damage to him. I've barely used my hero power, but we're getting creatures out there like crazy. I could really use some cards that allowed me to draw more often. That is something that I would like to see very much. We're going to have 8 mana to draw from on the next turn, and only 3 mana to use it on. So he has a Death Rattle, but he doesn't have a Taunt. Oh, who are you going to silence? Yeah, that's fair. It's not the best silence, so I'm not super concerned about it, but trying to think. So if I summon Raging Vorgin, this will give us another creature on the field, and then I can play Soul of the Forest, and all of my creatures, when they die, will summon Treants, which is basically how we won that last one. So why don't we do this, and then this. He has a Death Rattle too. But I guess then I'm not going to waste my time attacking. I think I'm going to attack him directly, because if he chooses not to attack me directly, I'm going to do more damage, at least for now. And if he chooses to attack me, then I'll summon a bunch of Treants with Taunt. Now, I have no cards in my hand, which is a very scary position to be in. I've kind of got it all out on the field right now, and it's certainly not going as fast as the last one went. But presumably, how awesome would, like, Cenarius be right now if that actually works? Especially if, like, some of these creatures die, and then he plays Cenarius, or I play Cenarius, and I get, like, +2/+2 on all Treants. I didn't even say hello to this guy. How rude is that? I'm getting deep into the strategy now. I can't focus on anything else, so this guy has Taunt. That's pretty frustrating, but hopefully we'll find a way around that with our next card. Otherwise, you know, we can attack him and then we'll get... Oh my god, we got Cenarius right off the bat. That's so awesome. Okay. So choose one. Give your minions +2/+2 or summon 2/2 Treants with Taunt. I'm just trying to think about how I should handle this. Alright, I think it's best to handle it like so. It's going to cost us a little bit, but I think it's a smart idea. So we play this. We give all of our minions +2/+2. And unfortunately, this isn't going to give us a great effect on this guy right here, because these treants aren't going to be +2/+2. But we did get rid of the enemy with taunt, which is good. Does this treant have summoning sickness? He does. That's okay. We'll be able to do 9 damage to the enemy, and then wait for the next turn. Again, pretty pleased with this. He's got to do something about the minions that I've summoned here, especially Cenarius. Deal 5 damage and draw a card. Well, that's okay. It does summon 2 more 2/2 treants with taunt, so he's got to do something about those before he can even attack me. And I think we're getting to the point where we might be able to make some seriously good stuff happen on this run. I shouldn't get too cocky. Give your hero +2 attack and +2 armor. So is he just going to destroy one of my treants then? He has to because it has taunt. Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying we're at the point where we're going to win, but what I will say is that I think we're in a very, very good position right now. So it gives all of our minions +1 attack. This is actually going to allow us to kill him. He concedes. Well, I did not expect to open up this video with 3 successive wins, but there we go. First time playing as the Druid class. Suffice it to say, I like him so far. So we are going to end the episode here. 3-0 is pretty good, definitely by far the best I have ever done. Thanks for watching the episode. Again, if you liked it, please feel free to support the series if you enjoyed the video by clicking the like button. It really does help me out a lot and help me grow my presence on YouTube. If you didn't, no hard feelings. Feel free to leave a comment as civilly as possible about what I did wrong or what I did right, what you liked or did not like. As always, thanks for watching. I hope if you want to see more Hearthstone, you will indeed subscribe. And again, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.